The underground Mars base was dark, cold, and silent. The team Ramai, Dr. Seima, LT, Malik, and Lena stood still, staring at the glowing chamber in the center of the room. Inside it floated a human-like figure. Its eyes were closed. Its skin looked metallic, but its face showed pain. It looked alive, but not fully human. A screen turned on. A strange voice, not male or female, not robotic or human, spoke clearly. This is Remnant, humanity's last weapon. It is waiting for a host. Rami stepped forward. Who created this? The voice answered, built from the minds of fallen heroes, their memories, their pain, their strength. Together, they became something new. Seima looked at the screen. Why was it hidden? Because it changes the host. Forever. Once connected, there is no turning back.
Ow.
The screen went black. For a moment, no one spoke. The team walked deeper. Into the base, they found old files, logs, and messages from the original Mars scientists. Most had died years ago. A few survived long enough to finish Remnant, but they knew Earth wasn't ready. One log read, Remnant is powerful, but it needs a human soul. One, strong enough to carry the memories of millions. Another log ended with, Earth will call us monsters. But maybe monsters are what we need. Outside, alien ships began to appear in orbit, silent, watching, waiting. Inside the base, alarms started beeping. Lena ran to a control panel. They've found us, she said. We have maybe 6 hours before they strike. Rami looked at Seima. We need to leave. Now. Seima stared at the floating figure. Not yet. She walked to the chamber. The machine responded to her presence. It opened slowly. Do you accept? The voice asked. Seima placed her hand on the glass. Yes, she whispered. A bright light filled the room. Her body shook, her mind screamed. Memories, millions of voices, faces, battles. Death centered her. She collapsed. 2 hours passed. When Seima opened her eyes, they glowed white for a second, and turned normal again. I remember everything, she said softly. I am still me. But more. Rami helped her up. Are you all right? I don't know, she said, smiling weakly. But I know how to beat them now. They ran to the ship the Horizon. Malik powered it up. Lena checked the engines. Alien drones were falling from the sky, fast like burning stars. Seima sat. In the center seat, she connected her mind to the ship. Suddenly, everything became faster. The ship responded like it was alive. Rami stared at her. You are flying the ship with your mind. She nodded. I can do more than that. The ship launched as they rose. A massive alien cruiser blocked the path. Dark, towering. Deadly, the cruiser fired. Seima raised her hand. A blue shield appeared around the ship. Energy waves bounced off. She spoke in a calm voice. I understand. Their language now. Their weakness is fear. They fear what we could become. The team watched in shock as she hacked into the alien ship. It exploded. They reached space. The path to Earth was clear for now. But Seima looked pale, tired. Lena asked, What's wrong? Seima said, Each time I use Remnant's power, it takes a part of me. I don't know how much time I have. Back on Earth, President Maria received the message. We are coming. We have Remnant. Prepare for final resistance. The president smiled for the first time in days, but her advisor looked worried. What if the aliens follow them here? She said. They already are. Inside the Horizon, Rami checked the ship logs. Something was strange. A backup message had been sent to the aliens. Who sent this? He shouted. Everyone looked at each other. Then LT Malik stood up slowly. His eyes changed, dark, empty. He was not himself. He whispered, Remnant must not reach Earth. Then he attacked. A brutal fight broke out inside the ship. Rami blocked Malik's attack. Lena grabbed a tool and shocked him. Seima tried to stop them using her voice, but she was weak. Rami finally knocked Malik out. His eyes returned to normal. He He gasped, I don't remember what happened. Seema touched his forehead. They had control, but not anymore. Rami looked at her. What else are they hiding from us? Seema replied, this was never just an invasion. It's a test. Rami asked, a test for what? Seema looked out the window, for what humanity becomes next. The horizon was silent. LT Malik lay on a bed, unconscious. Rami sat beside him, worried. Seema stood near the window, her hand glowing slightly. The remnant was now inside her. She could feel it, millions of human memories, voices, emotions. Soldiers, doctors, mothers, children, all their fear, all their courage. Sometimes she heard them whisper in her mind, don't stop. We died so others can live. Make it matter. Rami walked to her. You need to rest. Seema shook her head. I don't sleep now. Not like before. Rami asked, are you still human? She smiled softly. Mostly. The ship was only hours away from Earth, but danger still followed. Alien ships were behind them, fast, sharp, and deadly. Seema could sense them. They're not just chasing us, she said. They're afraid of what I've become. Opened the remnant files from the Mars base. Discovered something no one expected. Remnant was not created just as a weapon, it was a message. A message to the future in a hidden video. Mars scientists said, we tried peace, and we tried science. But in the end, memory was stronger. We gave Remnant everything. Pain, love, sacrifice. It is not just data, it's humanity's soul, Rami whispered. They turned human memory into a living weapon. Back on Earth, President Maria prepared for the final war. Cities were being evacuated. Bunkers were filling. The alien ships hovered above, silent like ghosts. She looked at the sky and said, come home, Sama. We need you now. Inside the horizon, Lena checked the power core. We're low on fuel, she said. One mistake, and we won't make it to Earth. Seema placed her hand on the control panel. Ship glowed. Systems turned green. I can give it power, she said. But it will take from me. Rami stepped forward. No, not unless we have to. But Seema looked calm. Every second counts. Suddenly, alarms blared. 3 alien drones appeared. Ahead, they're blocking Earth's orbit, Lena shouted. The team jumped into action. Seema stood still. She closed her eyes. Then, her body lit up with blue lines, like circuits under her skin. She raised her hand and spoke in the alien language, stand down. The drones paused. For a second, the space was quiet. Then one drone responded. You carry forbidden code. You are a danger to the network, Seema replied. I am not a danger. I am the result of your failure. The drones attacked. Lasers fired. Ships shook. Seema reached into their systems with her mind. She didn't destroy the drones. Them. Remember, she showed them Earth's history. Music, families, struggle, art, war, peace. The drones stopped. Then, he wanted. The other 2 turned away and left. Rami stared in shock. What did you do? Seema said. I reminded them who we are. But the effort drained her. She collapsed. Rami caught her. Her pulse was weak. I'll be okay, she whispered. Just help me get home. Finally, the horizon entered Earth's orbit. People across the planet looked up and saw the ship. Hope returned. But the aliens were not done. A massive mothership began descending. It was the same one that destroyed New York. This time they sent a message. You were warned. Your weapon is forbidden. Earth must fall. President Maria replied, we will not fall. We will rise. In the ship, Seema stood weakly. I have one last move, she said. Rami held her hand. It could kill you. She nodded. I know. She connected herself fully to Remnant. The chamber opened once again. This time it accepted her completely. Her body floated. Her eyes glowed. All of Earth's memories flowed through her joy, pain, war, peace. She became not just Seema, but all of us. Outside, The sky cracked with energy. Seima's voice echoed through every screen, every radio, every heart. We are humans. We feel pain, but we fight. We break, but we rebuild. We die, but we never surrender. She reached out with her mind and touched the alien. Mothership, it froze, trembled, then it shattered into light. The world watched in silence. Remnant had spoken, and the enemy had listened. Inside the horizon, the lights dimmed. Seima fell back into Raimi's arms. Her voice was faint. I'm still here, but not for long, Raimi whispered. You saved us. She smiled. No, we saved us. The horizon had returned. The ship slowly entered Earth's atmosphere. People across the world watched the skies. For the first time in weeks, they had hope. Seima was inside, but she was not the same. She sat quietly in the control seat, its eyes half closed, skin pale, breathing slow. The remnant was still inside her, but using its power was killing her. Rami stayed by her side. You don't have to fight alone, he said. She smiled gently. I'm not alone, not anymore. As the ship landed at the United Nations base, President Maria arrived in person. You did it, she said to Rami and Lena. You brought her home. But Lena shook her head. We're not safe yet. The real war is coming now. Above Earth, the alien motherships gathered again, this time in full force. They were silent, cold, watching. Seima stood in front of the Global Council. She spoke in a quiet, calm voice. They fear us, not because of our weapons, but because of what we can become. She raised her hand. A 3D image appeared in the airplane's 4 building shields, signal jammers, and drones based on the remnant's knowledge. She continued, if we unite, we can defend Earth, but we must work fast. They will attack again. Around the world, human cities started working together. For the first time in history, there were no borders, just one goal: survival. In factories, people built new weapons. In labs, engineers created energy shields. In command centers, soldiers from every nation trained side by side. It was Earth's final stand. But in the shadows, something dark was growing. LT Malik sat alone, staring at his hands. Ever since the alien control had taken over him on the horizon, he felt different. He started hearing whispers, not from Remnant, from something else. You are still ours, the voice said. She must not live. He gritted his teeth. No, I'm free, but the voice laughed. Not when she dies. The next morning, Seima collapsed. Too much power. Too little time. Her body was weak, but her mind was still strong. I have maybe a day left, she told Rami. Maybe less. He held her hand. Then let's make every second count. While Seima rested, Rami took command of the defense. But then an urgent alarm, a signal from space. The alien fleet was moving. Thousands of ships. Earth had maybe 6 hours before the attack. Rami gave the order, all defenses up. Lock Earth, no entry, no exit. But someone had already opened a way in .lt. Malik entered. Sama's room with a calm face, but his eyes were empty. He carried a small energy blade, hidden in his coat. You have to stop, he said to her. Sama looked up. I saw the truth. In his face, they still control you, she said softly. He nodded. You are too dangerous. Not just to them, but to us. He raised the blade. But before he could strike, Raimi entered. A shot fired. Malik dropped to the ground, injured, but alive. I didn't want to hurt you, Rami said. But you left me no choice. How? Later, Malik was taken into a secure cell. He cried silently. I didn't want to kill her, he whispered. But they said, she'll destroy everything. Seima stood again. She walked slowly to the command center, body shaking but mind clear. She looked at Earth's leaders. I can hold them off. Give you time, but you must defend the planet. Together, Lena asked. What if you die? Seima answered, then remember what I gave you, and never stop fighting. The sky turned red. Alien ships entered Earth's orbit. Lights flashed. Shadows spread. The final battle had begun. Seima stepped outside the base. Her hands glowed. She raised them toward the sky, and she spoke into their minds. You called us weak, but weakness taught us strength. You called us chaotic, but chaos taught us unity. You tried to erase us, but now we will write the ending. In space, alien ships stopped. Some fell. Some turned away. Some resisted, but then came one final ship bigger than all others. It sent one message. You are not ready for what comes next. And it fired a super weapon. The alien super weapon had fired a beam of pure energy, flew from space faster than anything Earth had ever seen. But this time, Earth was ready. Thanks to Sama's knowledge, shield towers had been built across major cities. The beam hit Earth's defense grid and bent like water hitting glass. Some buildings fell, some systems failed, but Earth stood tall. Humanity had survived the strongest attack yet. Inside the command bunker, President Maria looked at the burning sky and said, that was their final warning. Now, they will come with everything. Rami watched the live feed. Alien warships were entering lower orbit. Hundreds of them. Earth could not win a direct fight, but Sama had a different plan. One final trick. She stood weakly in the control room, body shaking, voice soft. I will send a signal, she said. One they will believe. One they want to hear. Rami nodded. What kind of signal? Sama looked at the sky. A surrender. Everyone in the room froze. What? Lena asked. You're giving up? Sama shook her head. Not real. Surrender. Just enough to make them drop their guard. President Maria understood. A human deception. The message was sent. A female voice, calm and broken. Played across all channels in the alien language. This is Earth. We surrender. The weapon is unstable. Humanity accepts extinction. Please, spare what's left. The alien ships stopped firing. Some hovered. Some began descending, slowly, carefully. They believed it. On the surface, Earth forces disappeared underground. Cities went quiet. It looked like Earth had truly given up. But beneath the silence, factories ran. Missiles loaded. Drones activated. Everyone waited for the signal. In orbit, the alien flagship opened. A smaller vessel flew down to the Earth. It headed straight for Sama's last known location. Rami watched on radar. They're coming. Sama sat in a dark room, connected to the remnant core. I will let them in, she said. But why? Lena asked. Because I want to see their faces when they lose. The alien landing pod arrived outside the base. It opened. 3 tall beings stepped out, thin, gray, with glowing eyes. They had no weapons. They didn't need any. They entered the base slowly, cautiously, and found Sama waiting. She looked weak, half human, half light. The alien spoke in her mind. You should not exist, Sama answered. Neither should you. They reached out to disconnect her from Remnant, but she smiled. Suddenly, lights turned red. The doors locked. Dozens of drones flew out from hidden walls. Earth's trap had sprung across the planet. Similar scenes played out. Alien ships landing into quiet cities, only to face a wall of human resistance. In space, hidden missile silos on the moon opened from Earth's oceans. Submarines surface-loaded with alien tech torpedoes. Earth had used the surrender to buy time. Now, the real fight began. Inside the base. Sama stood fully upright. Her voice became 2 voices, hers and Remnant's. You looked at Earth and saw weakness. You didn't see our truth. We fight best when we have nothing left. A shockwave. The 3 aliens dropped to the ground. Their minds overloaded, but the power was too much. Sama fell to her knees. Rami ran to her. You're killing yourself. She smiled, tired. If it means they stop fearing us, start respecting us, then it's worth it. Meanwhile, the battle in space turned in Earth's favor. The alien ships were confused, divided. Some were hacked by Sama's remnant code. Others began fleeing. One alien captain sent a final message. We made a mistake. You are not simple life forms. You are a threat to everything. But not all aliens fled. One massive ship stayed behind, larger than a city. It's older than all the others. From it, a voice spoke to all of Earth. She is only the beginning. Touched forbidden power. If humanity continues, others will. Come stronger, worse, President Maria replied. Let them come. The giant ship vanished in a flash of light, gone without a trace. The battle was over. Earth had survived, but at a price. Seima lay in the remnant chamber, barely breathing. Rami held her hand. You did it, he whispered. She opened her eyes. For now, she said. But it's not over. The war was over. The sky was quiet. Alien ships had fled. The last battle was finished. But Earth had changed forever. Inside the United Nations bunker, the world leaders gathered. The planet had survived, but at a terrible cost. Over 1/3 of all major cities were gone, millions had died, oceans were poisoned, satellites destroyed, but still Earth stood. President Maria gave her final speech that night. We fought with memory, with pain, with unity. We are still here. That alone is our victory. In the medical chamber, Rami sat beside Seima. She was no longer glowing. Her body looked weaker, now almost transparent. Like light was escaping her skin. The remnant inside her was fading. Rami whispered, Can't we save you? Seima smiled. Oh, I was never meant to live after this. He held her hand tightly. We need you, she replied. No. You don't. Not anymore. You have the knowledge, the code, the power. Across Earth, people had already started rebuilding. Engineers used alien tech, enhanced by remnant data. New cities were rising faster, stronger, smarter. A new generation of humans would grow in a world that had seen the stars and survived. But not everyone was celebrating. Lena walked through the ruins of her hometown. She looked at a statue of a fallen soldier. Her brother, she whispered, you died so we could win, but was the price too high? Beside her, a child picked up a broken drone and smiled. Can I fix this? He asked. She nodded, and that small question gave her hope. Meanwhile, in the deepest part of Earth's new defense center, Seima uploaded the last piece of remnant into a protected system. This isn't a weapon anymore, she said. It's a warning and a guide. Rami asked, a warning to who? She answered, to whoever comes next. That night, Earth received one final message. A simple, cold voice. One they hadn't heard before. You won, but you are now seen. Across the stars, others are watching. Others will come. Your species is no longer hidden. Then silence. The room went still. President Maria turned to her team. So it begins again. Not. But Seima shook her head. No. Next time, it won't be a surprise. Rami walked with Seima to the last safe room, the one built for Remnant's core. Her body was fading fast. Every time she breathed, her chest glowed softly. I'm not afraid, she said. I only fear being forgotten. You won't be, Rami said. We'll tell your story. To everyone, forever. She smiled. Promise me something.
Anything.
Don't become like them. Don't let power make you forget who you are. He nodded. We'll remember. She lay down in the chamber. Machines closed gently around her. The screen above showed her heartbeat, slow, steady. Then still. Rami stayed with her until the end. He whispered, Sleep now. You did more than enough. The next morning, a new monument was raised, not for generals, not for presidents, but for a scientist who turned memory into a weapon and gave her life so Earth could survive. The words written on the stone, she carried all of us and became more than one. Remnant lives on not in machines, but in us. Months passed, Earth changed. The new cities had curved towers powered by alien energy. Schools taught about the remnant in Sama's story. Children played with drones once used in war, but Earth didn't forget the cost. Every year, on the day of victory, sirens would sound at sunset, not to celebrate, but to remember. Rami became Earth's first memory guardian. His job? Protect. Remnant's core, train the next generation, and keep humanity united. People asked him, was she really gone? He always answered, no. She's part of all of us now. But far beyond Earth, in deep space, a dark planet lit up. A new race. Older than the first aliens, had seen the battle. One of them pointed to Earth's location. They touched. The forbidden flame, it said. We must watch them. They are waking up. Another asked, should we stop them? The leader replied, no, not yet. Let them grow. I will make the hunt more interesting. Back on Earth, a small remnant terminal blinked quietly in a lab. No one saw the screen. It flashed 3 words, not the end. Months had passed since the war. Earth was quiet, but it was no longer the same. The skies were full of new satellites. Cities had shields. Old enemies were now allies. And deep underground, the remnant core still pulsed with life. But something was coming. Not from above. From inside. One morning, the remnant system activated on its own, Rami. Now Earth's memory guardian rushed into the chamber. The screen showed a message. A final protocol has been unlocked. The last way out. He pressed the command key. A hologram appeared at Wasema. Her voice was calm, recorded before her final moment. If this message is playing, then Earth has survived. But survival is not the goal. Becoming more is. Remnant has one. Last function, not to defend, but to evolve. Rami stared at the screen. Evolve. President Maria was called. Lena too. The Global Council gathered in the underground chamber. Sema's voice continued. There is a gate, hidden, buried under Antarctica. Built thousands of years ago, not by us, but by the first ones who visited Earth. They left behind one path, the last way out. Through that gate, humanity can leave Earth and become part of something greater. The room went silent. Was it real? A hidden alien gate on Earth? Within 48 hours, teams were sent to Antarctica. Beneath the ice, 12 kilometers down. They found a massive circle, half metal, half stone, shaped like a ring. Glowing faint blue dot, it responded only to one signal. Same as remnant code. Rami stood. In front of the gate, a voice echoed from the ring. Humanity has passed the trial. You may now choose, stay, and protect what you have. Or leave, and become what you are meant to be. The world was confused. Some people wanted to go, explore, find new homes in the stars. Others said, should stay, heal, and protect the planet. Arguments broke out. Even the council was divided. President Maria looked at Rami and asked what would she have done. He answered, she would have given people a choice. So that's what Earth did. They built a new ship, the Sema. One, it was not made for war, it was made for discovery. The gate powered up. Portal opened, blue and beautiful, no one knew what was on the other side. But they were ready. On launch day, people across the world watched. Thousands had signed up to leave, to explore, to carry humanity's voice into the stars. Rami stood at the gate. He held a small memory, drive Sema's last thoughts. He placed it into the ship's core. Now she flies with us, he said. Lena walked beside him. Do you think they'll come back? Rami looked at the sky. Maybe, or maybe they'll find a better place. She nodded. And if more enemies come? He smiled. Then Earth will be ready. The engine started. Families waved goodbye. Children pressed their faces to the glass. A new journey had begun. As Sema 1 flew into the portal, the Earth waited, not in fear, but in hope. High above, in deep space, many races watched. One voice said, they were meant to fall. Another replied, but they rose. A third one whispered, let them come. The galaxy needs fire, and on Earth, in a quiet lab, a single flower grew beside the remnant terminal. It blinked once. A message appeared. She is still watching. The end. The night sky was calm. Stars blinked above the Earth. People slept in warm homes. Streets were quiet. Cities glowed softly. Everything looked normal, but something was wrong. High above, in the darkness of space, Earth's satellites went silent one by one. No explosions, no warning, just silence. In the United States, a Space Command officer stared at his screen. "Sir," he said, voice shaking, "we just lost contact with 5 more satellites." The general walked over. "All at once? No signal? It's like they vanished, thousands of miles away, in a small cabin deep in the mountains." Of Norway, Dr. Mira Voss woke with a start. She had felt it. She didn't know how. But her instincts screamed, "They've come." Mira was not a normal scientist. 20 years ago, she helped build Earth's first space defense program. Then the program was shut down. The world stopped funding it. People thought aliens weren't real. Mira knew better. She had seen signs, old signals, strange patterns, in deep space. For years, no one listened. So she disappeared into the cold mountains, away from the world that ignored her. Now, something was happening. The silence in the sky wasn't natural. She sat down at her old computer. It still had access to hidden space radar data. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. 5 satellites gone, then 10, now 30. She whispered, "This is an attack." In Beijing, London, New Delhi, and Washington, emergency meetings started. But the leaders had no answers. No one had seen any enemy, no missiles, no alien ships. Nothing. Only silence. One general said, "Maybe it's a solar storm," another replied. "Satellites don't drop like that, not this fast." Panic stayed. Quiet. For now, at sunrise, the news broke. A giant space station, Horizon 5. Orbiting Earth was gone. No distress signal, no debris. Just ... gone. People began to worry. Social media filled with rumors. Was it an accident? A weapon test? Aliens. Governments told the public to stay calm, but they had no real answers. Back in Norway, Mira Voss packed her bag. She knew what was next. The pattern was clear to her. First, cut the eyes, take out the satellites. Second, remove key targets like the Horizon 5 station. Third, a full invasion. But Earth wasn't ready, not even close. She had to warn someone with power. But who would listen now? Just then, a knock came at her cabin door. She froze. No one ever came here. She grabbed a small pistol from her drawer. Quietly walked to the door. She opened it slowly. A tall man in a black coat stood there. Behind him, a sleek black vehicle. "Waited, Dr. Voss?" he asked. She nodded. "I work with her strategic defense." "We've been watching the sky too. We need your help." They drove for hours, through snowy roads, down into a secret tunnel. At the end, a massive underground base, black site Aegis. Inside, screens showed Earth's orbit. Glowing red marks showed. All the missing satellites. Voss walked into the command room. Dozens of officers stopped talking when they saw her. She spoke clearly. "This is not a test. This is not an accident. This is a first strike, a silent one." Young officer asked, "But by who?" "We haven't seen anything." Myra pointed at the screen. "You won't until it's too late. They're using stealth tech. I saw it in old deep space scans. Zarek Dominion. A powerful alien empire. They warned us before. 20 years ago. We ignored it." Another officer replied, "Why now?" Eyes narrowed. "Because we've grown too fast. We sent ships to Mars, to Titan. We built AAZ can think. To them we are no longer a small planet, we are a future rival." The room fell silent. The general in charge finally spoke. "Then we must prepare." Hours later, as night fell again, strange objects entered Earth's upper atmosphere, too fast to be planes, too quiet to be rockets. They didn't crash. They landed in the deep oceans, in remote deserts, in frozen poles. They were not seen by the public. But satellites, those few still working, caught blurry shapes. Long, dark alien. The general stared at the images. "They're here," he whispered, and far away above the earth, something massive waited in the shadow of the moon, black, silent, bigger than any human ship ever built. It was not moving. It was watching, waiting. A full day passed. The world still didn't know the truth. Governments told people not to worry. They said the missing space station and silent satellites were technical issues. They were lying deep under the ocean, far from any ship or submarine. Something had landed. It was huge. And alive. It was 2:41 a.m. when it happened. Over the Pacific Ocean, a giant ball of fire crossed the sky. Bright, silent, too slow to be. Meteor. Too fast to be a plane. A fisherman in Japan saw it first. He grabbed his phone and started recording. The object burned red, then blue, then vanished into the sea. 30 seconds later, the water boiled. The ocean lit up white. Steam exploded into the sky. Ships nearby vanished from radar. Emergency messages went out, but by then, it was too late. Something had entered Earth's oceans, something not from this world. In Washington, D.C., the president was woken up. A voice on the phone said, "Sir, it's not just space anymore. They're on the planet." In the secret base beneath the mountains, Dr. Myra Voss and Captain Rhea Monroe stood side by side. Monroe had just arrived, called back from retirement. She was a legend, a war hero from old battles on Mars. She didn't smile. She didn't panic. But when she saw the live footage from the Pacific, she went quiet. Myra spoke first. "They didn't crash. They landed. Controlled entry." Monroe nodded. "So it begins." The next morning, people across the globe woke to strange news, unexplained. Ocean explosion near Japan. Naval ships disappear. No wreckage found. Bright fireball seen from 6 countries. Social media exploded. Hashtag Skyfire, hashtag alien landing, hashtag ocean mystery still. The world leaders said nothing. They were scared, confused, divided in the black site. Aegis War Room, the satellite team found something terrifying. A signal deep underwater. Repeating every 10 minutes, "Not natural." Mira listened closely. It wasn't just sound, it was language to old alien. She turned to the general. "It's a message. What does it say?" he asked. She took a deep breath. "Submit or be destroyed." Meanwhile, Captain Monroe entered a steel elevator. It went down for almost a full minute deep into the earth. At the bottom, heavy doors opened to a forgotten place. Project Lionclaw, Earth's hidden weapon. 12 prototype ships. Built from crashed alien. Tech found on Mars long ago. Never tested. Never finished. But powerful, this, Monroe said, is how we survive. Engineers ran tests. The power systems were unstable. One ship sparked and shut down. They needed days to fix it. They had hours. Then came the second strike. A massive EMP wave hit. Northern Canada, no planes, no bombs, just darkness. Power grids failed. Satellites above the region blinked out. An alien probe was found in the woods, half buried in snow. It was sending data back into space. The team recovered it, but it self-destructed before they could open it. Monroe looked at Myra. "They're mapping us, testing us." Myra nodded, preparing the real blow. In the skies above, telescopes finally spotted it, near the dark side of the moon, something big. Not a rock. Not a ship we knew. It was theirs, the Xerox Dominion. The ship didn't move, didn't attack. It just watched. Inside that massive alien ship, deep in its glowing red halls, the Xerox commander stood still. Its body was tall and armored. Its voice echoed in the chamber. "Earth remains proud, loud, unbroken." But not for long. A second alien, smaller, spoke. "They have not bowed," the commander replied. "Then we will burn their skies and break their ground." Back on Earth, Mira received a hidden file load data she had once buried in a forgotten satellite. It contained images from years ago. Alien ships like this had passed by Earth before, but they never stopped until now, she whispered to herself. This time, they came to finish what they started. The final scene showed a satellite feed from Earth's orbit. Blurry, but clear enough. 5 more fireballs, just like the first, tannered the atmosphere. Different parts of the world, South America. Antarctica, Africa, the deep Atlantic. Monroe clenched her jaw. They're surrounding us, Mira said. They're not just invading, they're sending a message. And on every screen inside Black Site Aegis, new signal appeared. Alien symbols, translated in red letters. This is your final chance. Surrender, or be erased.